Hello, Tar Heel Nation. Welcome back to another episode of UNC Hoops Talk podcast. Didn't get to podcast as early as I wanted to. I wanted to before the state game, although I hadn't seen them play, and obviously they played better than I would have said they would have. And yeah, we'll get into that. But before we get into the state game, we got to talk about the Kentucky game, which last podcast I did was still going to be the Ohio State game. Last minute change there, so. Yeah, obviously last podcast just didn't really do any good as far as that goes. But yeah, last minute change went from being Ohio State game at 4 Eastern or something like that to against Kentucky at 2 Eastern. But yeah, we know this already. We got the win, 75-63. Was not pretty. Again, very slow start for the Heels. We almost kind of gave them a little bit too much confidence. I was afraid that I thought we should win or should beat them the way they had been playing, but you just kind of never know. It's Kentucky, and with us, we like to kind of play down and give teams a good win for the season or get their season turned around. That's what I was afraid, is that we were just going to turn Kentucky's season around, but we did get the win. Kentucky is now 1-5. At this point, we were 5-2. Felt pretty good. We fought back, got the win. Liked Baycot's quote after the game is, when they jumped out on us, they thought they were going to punk us, but it's not going to be last year. We're not putting up with that bleep, as he said it this year. And so, yeah, we felt good about ourselves. Stat-wise, pretty spread out. We were led by Baycott, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Brooks had 11 and 6. Caleb Love had 11, but still didn't shoot good. Shot 4 for 14, 0 for 5 from 3. Kerwin Walton actually hit 3 threes. He was 100%, 4 for 4 from the free throw line, 3 for 3 from 3. Had 13 points. And we thought maybe that would be kind of his jumping on period. Let's see, Dayron Sharp, 7 points, 11 rebounds. And then we had Playtech with 6, Leakey with 6, RJ with just 3, but he only played 16 minutes. Some injury there, and just wasn't necessary by the time he got back. We really thought we kind of had it under control at least, and foul trouble under control is kind of what he said as well. But struggles, we shot 5 for 20 from 3. Besides Walton, Playtech hit 1, RJ hit 1. That's, again, not going to be enough for us. Turnovers, we did better this game, only 11. And again, probably part of the reason that we won. They actually out-rebounded us 42-38. We didn't shoot the ball great. We were 43% overall, 25 from 3, 62% from the free throw line. Continues to be a problem. But we got the win. Again, a lot of foul called in this game. Was not pretty. There wasn't much flow to it. Young guys still got some work to do. I guess somebody said, again, with turnovers here, Caleb Love had 6 assists to 2 turnovers. We thought maybe we'd kind of turned a corner there. And then last night happened. Again, I didn't get a podcast ahead of time about it. Maybe that's better. But we go to state. They were 4-1 at the time. Hadn't really played anybody, though. Their loss was to... Man, who was it to? I don't have it in front of me. It was somebody decent, but not spectacular. I don't remember who it was. Maybe it was in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. I'm not sure. But again, another slow start. They get, I think, their largest lead, 17 points with 4 minutes left in the first half. And then the rest of that 4 minutes in the first half, we actually got it down to, what was the score at halftime? 49-42. So we were only down 7.5. So, 10-0 run there. Not necessarily 10-0, but we outscored them by 10 in the last 4 minutes of the first half. And then we came out second half playing good. We actually got a lead. No, we didn't have a lead in the second. I was thinking we got a lead, but we got it down to 1 or 2 several times and just couldn't score. Some bad shots. Again, did not shoot the ball well here overall. We shot, I guess, a little bit better, 44% overall, but 17% from 3. We're just 2 for 12 from 3, and then 71% from the free throw line. So not horrible there. But turnovers came back. We had 18, nobody more than 3, but we had 4 guys with 3, a couple more with 2. So it wasn't just one guy, it was kind of all of us. Rebounding, we out-rebounded 45-34. Points off turnovers, they outscored us by 5. In the paint, we outscored them by 16. Second chance points were pretty even. Fast break points were 19-2 in our favor. And they hit some nice, crazy shots, hit some open shots. Devin Daniels for them kind of went crazy. 21 points. A lot of tough shots and timely shots. Again, when we got it down to one possession game, they came back and always hit. For us, Armando Bacot led us again, 16 points, just 6 rebounds for him. Garrison had 10 and 7. Caleb Love, 11, 4 assists to his 2 turnovers, 4 rebounds. But again, shot 3 for 14, 0 for 4 from 3. He is making all his free throws. He was 5 for 5. RJ had 11. Actually, we would have thought he had more, but he only shot 5 for 14 as well, 1 for 4 from 3. He had some tough layups, but it seemed like besides I said we were 2 for 12 from 3. Besides our 2 threes, someone reminded me of one other jumper we had, but everything else seemed like it was at the basket. And then we had Leaky Black had 6. Playtech had 8 off the bench with one of our threes. Sharp had 6.7 rebounds. Kessler had a really good game, just 3 points, but he had 3 steals, 3 blocks, 6 rebounds. And that's just in 12 minutes. But he had, and Roy kind of said too, he kind of kept us or got us back into the game at the beginning or in the end of the first half. But he played well, I thought, in the second half as well when he got minutes there. The problem is, who does he take minutes from? Walton did not look as good as he did in the Kentucky game, had 12 minutes as well, but just 3 points. And just didn't look good out there. Puff, again, he had I think that was Kentucky game too. His bucket was pretty important. This one, he had 2 points, but pretty forgettable playing time there as well. And like I said, we out rebounded them. Turnovers were a thing again. We can't have that. And then really, it's shooting. Like teams just stay off of us and give us no room to work inside, and we don't give them any reason to guard us outside, even mid range to the 3-point line. They shot 8 for 17 from 3. 47%. They actually shot better from 3 than they did from 2. And they actually shot poorly from the free throw line. So it could have been a lot worse than the 79-76 game it was. We did have a chance at the end. We had 2 threes at the end that we could not connect on and send it to overtime. But that's kind of how the game went and how the whole game was. And again, the way we played, we didn't really deserve it. So we got to kind of ask, like, are we in the same place as last year? Now, last year is different because we had so many injuries. We were inconsistent. We still couldn't shoot from outside. And so are we going to have a season? Maybe the record won't be as bad as last year. But, are we going to struggle here in the ACC? We only have ACC games left. No, we don't have, again, we got 14 wins last year. We're not going to get that many wins if we don't, step it up here. We got 19 games left, I guess, because there's a 20-game ACC schedule, and we played 1. So we got 19 games left here. We're sitting at 5-3. Again, obviously you can't compare the record-wise, but, winning percentage stuff, are we going to be the same? Because we got mostly tough games left and we can't hit from outside? Are we going to, we need our outside guys to knock something down? Again, we don't have to shoot an outrageous amount of threes. We just have to be able to keep them honest so our big guys have room to work inside. But now we give, like I said, no reason for teams to come out and guard us by the 3 or, even mid-range. And it's probably where turnovers come in. We got out and ran a little bit more against State here. Against Kentucky, there was a stretch where we ran and got some fast break points. But are we in trouble like we were, the trouble that we had last year without the foul trouble? Hopefully we don't have, or not foul trouble, but injuries. Last year, we were so inconsistent. We just didn't know who was going to play each game because guys were out for injuries here and there, and we were just kind of filling in the roster. Knock on wood, we haven't had anybody get injured this year. Seriously, RJ went out last night, and we've had guys kind of out and banged up, but that's everybody. Last year we had guys missing games because they're injured, and they probably even came back early because we just didn't have the numbers and stuff like that. Hopefully we don't have that, but again, do we need to be worried about this year? Is Caleb going to come around and cut the turnovers and start hitting some shots? I mean, it's not even just his threes; it's any jumper. He's just not hitting. he had some tough runners, but again, they're all tough because people are clogging up the lane. He's got to draw contact every time, free throws even. We shot a little bit better, but that's kind of what almost keeps us in games when we shoot that many free throws. And Kentucky, we fouled out their entire front line, and at the end when we pulled away, it was because guys had fouled out. We fouled out 4 of their guys. At least 3 of them were big guys there, and it obviously helped us. But we can't bank on that either. So that's kind of my question to you guys is, do we need to be as worried as we got last year towards the end of the season? Moving on from then, like I said, it doesn't get any easier. We got ACC games coming up. We got a week off here. I'm recording this on Wednesday, December 23rd. We got till next Wednesday, December 30, when we go to Atlanta and play Georgia Tech, which they knocked off Kentucky, but that doesn't look impressive anymore. But they've been playing a lot better than they started. They started 0-2 against a couple of Georgia directional schools, they've looked better. So we're going to their place. We've struggled in Atlanta before. We'll see kind of how it goes. And again, it's more about what we're going to do. Are we going to get stuff straight? Are we going to knock down some outside shots? And defense, our defense has not been good either. And then we were supposed to play the Saturday after that, January 2nd, against Syracuse. Breaking news almost. It just came out that game has been postponed because of an opponent that Syracuse played that had COVID. And so contact tracing and stuff like that. I don't know if they're going to how long they're going to have to rest or whatever, but Syracuse is kind of out. So that game is postponed. And so possibly I'll get to podcast before the Miami game, but then January 5th, Tuesday, we go to Miami. So if we don't get that Syracuse game in or fill it with a different game, we're going to be, we went to state last night. We're going to be at Georgia Tech and then at Miami to start our ACC schedule off. And again, I would say all 3 of those games, counting the Syracuse one, I guess we can take that out. But those 2 games, Georgia Tech and Miami, both teams we should beat. But I would have said that about State last night as well. It's a team we should have beat. They were missing Funderburk as well, one of their big guys, which you think, good, we got a bigger advantage inside. But just didn't happen. They didn't allow us to kind of beat them up inside. They pressed us a little bit, got the game, a little more wide open. And usually that's to our advantage. Obviously not happening this year as much as we would like. So yeah, the Georgia Tech game, it says for TV, it's RSN. So something local, hopefully maybe ACC Network will pick that up or Fox Sports, something like that. We'll see. But that's an 8 p.m. Eastern tip on that Wednesday. And then Miami on January 5th is a Tuesday. It's an 8 p.m. Eastern tip as well. That one's on ESPN. And then I definitely should be able to podcast here before the Clemson game that's after that. And right now it says ESPN or ESPN2. So hopefully it also says 1, 3, or 7 for tip. So hopefully all that is figured out by the next podcast. But that's what we got coming up. Like I said, it's teams we should beat, but it's also teams that we're going to find out a lot about us. Do we got concern or room for concern, or are we going to get it going? Are we going to really get this season going? So far, we've kind of beat who we should beat. Lost some teams close. I mean, we haven't had any bad losses. They've been close. We've been fight, but it's always we get down by double digits. We got to fight back, and then it's either close. We either come up short or we win. But we can't keep going like this. Texas, again, team we could have beat. Even Iowa, we were right there for a while till we got into foul trouble, and we played them tight and close and good and all that stuff. And then obviously last night we were right there, and again, a team we should be able to beat if we want to go where we want to go and do what we want to do this year and use the talent like we got. But we. Not that I'm bailing on this team, is just kind of like, do we need to be worried? Because last year too, we started out 5-0. Remember the opening game against Notre Dame, Cole Anthony had a triple-double, just looked unstoppable. And so we had that false hope as we kind of kept going. We're like, okay, we're going to figure it out. We're going to get healthy. We're going to get guys back. And it just kept going and kept going, never kind of got it turned around. So again, not bailing on this team, but do we need to be concerned? This is a short season. It's going fast. We're about a third of the way through it. Like I said, we're 8 games in and playing 27. So 19 games left, a third of the way in. what's going to happen from here. But really quickly before we end here, Be the Wolf, who's watching on YouTube, says sure missing Kobe White. I kind of thought Love would be similar, but not so far. Yeah, he's got it. RJ has looked good. He's looked tough. Love's got to get some stuff figured out here. And then Tar Heels and Kick says, I think we get it together by mid-January. And I sure hope you're right. I can see that happening, but at the same point, like you got to prove it. Somebody said Caleb's in a slump, but he hasn't shown us anything to say this is a slump. So far, this is just what he's been. So hopefully he gets that turned around. But yeah, that's really all I got. We'll see as we go forward here. Keep subscribing, keep sharing the podcast, keep supporting me. And really, that's all I got here. Until next time, go Heels.